Okay, today we're going to be changing a radiator in a 2011 Hyundai Veracruz. So, we're going to begin by using a screwdriver, and we're going to remove a bunch of these little clips that are right here. These clips, which are located on the top, they use a Phillips in order to pull a little screw out, and then you just pull the entire mechanism out. I'll go ahead and show you here one of these clips that I have in my hand right here. So this is what they look like right here, and here you can see it just simply unscrews out a little bit, and then the whole clip itself will pull out. Now there's several of these across the entire top right here, so you're going to pull out all of those, and then down in this area there's going to be a 10mm bolt that you're going to need to take out. So you'll need to take one out on that side, and you need to come over here and you'll need to take one out on this side as well. Now in this area right here, we can see that there is 3 here as well. So there's going to be 1, 2, 3 here, and those pull out as well. Keep all those together. They're all the same size, so it doesn't really matter if you keep them together or not. They're pretty much all standard. And then you pull a mechanism out here which feeds into the air filter, and that'll just slip straight out, and you'll set that aside as well. Once we get that done, we're going to come over here to the hood latch, and we're going to kind of bend that over a little bit. Otherwise, once we start to pull this, it will not come out. So just to make it easier, we're just going to bend that over a little bit like that. We can bend it back later, and you'll notice that that gives us access to the radiator inside of the hood cover. Now, once you get inside of here, there's another hidden clip right here that you got to take out. In order to access that, you just go from the top, but there are 2 hidden ones on the side right here and right here as well that go this way from the front. So you'll need to come around to the front grille, and you'll need to go inside of here with a long screwdriver. All I did was use a long 1/4-inch extension with a 1/4-inch socket, and just used a little Phillips end that I pushed into there with some paper around it to make sure it didn't slip out of the socket. But I just slipped it through there and accessed the 2 screws, unscrewed those clips, and then pulled the clips out. Once again, they're just 2 of these, and they'll just pull out this direction towards the front of the vehicle. And then there's a small plastic piece that you'll pop off right there to give you access. Once we're done with that, we're going to come to the left and right sides, and over here on the top of the radiator are 2 clamps. And there's 2 10mm bolts right here that you need to make sure that you take out. So there's a bolt here, and there's one right next to it, and then you repeat that on the other side. Once you're done with that, we're probably going to go ahead and move on to this portion, which is the cooling fans. Let me get some light in here. So inside of here you have 2 cooling fans for the system, and those cooling fans need to be taken loose. In order to do that, I'm going to try to take the camera here, and I apologize, it might flip upside down on us here for just a second. But you can see there is the cooling fan ear right there, and then there's where it screws into right there. So you can see there's 2 10mm bolts per fan, so a total of 4 bolts that we're going to take off to get these cooling fans loose. Now once we get these cooling fans loose, we actually have to pull them up out of the radiator area. Get you some more light here in order to see. So basically we're going to need to pull these upwards and outwards in order to get these loose and completely loose out of the radiator, because they actually sit down in the radiator itself. So we need to make sure that they are loose and completely free. You'll pull those towards the engine in order to get them completely loose. Once you get them loose, so there's a left one and a right one, once those are both loose, you're going to pull them to the right as much as you can. So once you shift these all the way to the right as much as you can, or towards the driver's side, so let me shift this around a little bit, down in here on the passenger side, way down in here, so you can just barely see it. So I'm going to try to hold this out of the way. Way down in here, right about there with my finger, way down in there on the passenger side, there's a little white valve. We're going to take that valve and we're going to loosen that valve in order to drain out all of the radiator fluid so we can begin disconnecting all of the hoses.